Welcome back to my channel. I'm James. Today I've got 5 advanced reviews and I'm excited to share that we're going to be deep diving into the upcoming Willow, Transformers 1, Stir of Echoes, Shaun of Dead, and Below. All of these are exciting upcoming 4K releases, and these were all sent to me over 2 weeks early directly from the studios for me to dive into, test, and review for all of you. Now in today's video, I'm going to be doing my quick fire fast reviews for each of these upcoming 4K releases. As most of you know that have followed me, due to my deteriorating health and some of those issues I'm dealing with, as well as being mentally fried and the amount of massive work I've been doing lately, I am having to condense things to provide you the same amount of content just in a more condensed format, so that way I can cover all of these massive releases that are coming out. And in all of my reviews with my testing and analysis, I always pour my heart and soul into making sure I provide an accurate image and sound quality on every single review I release, so you know exactly what to expect and if any of these are worth buying and adding to your collection. Now I do just want to share something important with all of you. If you really enjoy all of these review videos that I do, all of my in-depth analysis, make sure to support these videos. That's why it's always extremely important, if you're going to buy or add any of these releases to your collection after you get done watching these reviews, always make sure to go down and click and buy through those direct Amazon sale links I've pinned as a comment in the comment section right below this video. I've gathered together all of the exact links for all of the different versions that I've tested and reviewed, so that way you get the exact items that I'm reviewing in this video. And I'm never sponsored or paid by any of these studios to create any of these reviews. And that's why it's so darn important to show your support, because the only way I can always continue to create all this content is through you, my viewers and subscribers' support, when you click and buy through those direct Amazon sale links right down there below. Now, starting off here with Willow from 1988, this was sent to me a full 2 weeks early for review directly from Disney. Now, when I was diving into this and testing this in comparison to the previous Blu-ray release, I did enjoy the previous Blu-ray release. This was created from a 4K restoration, and this is a brand new native 4K transfer. Now, along with that, they did a brand new HDR10 color grading in master to fix a lot of the issues on the previous Blu-ray that had issues where it really got really bad orange and brown in numerous scenes, and it had some issues with the colors. So they went back and worked with that as well to provide a more stable viewing experience. I am happy to report this does have the nice natural layer of film grain from beginning to end, and it is very nicely stable. Though I do want to point out, the way this original film was created, there is numerous scenes to give it its fantasy, basically dreamlike sequences, especially when like the fairies are coming. It does have intentionally camera lenses and filters that were used that provide a dreamy fantasy look to it that is never going to go away no matter how many times they release it, whether it's on 4K, whether it's on Blu-ray. Those specific scenes that are a softer fantasy dreamlike look are intentionally created that way and will never change. Though I will say for this new native 4K transfer, details are dramatically refined over the previous Blu-ray. You will notice depth in the image, things like on the baby, the cloth that they're carrying it in, the hair that's on Willow, and all of their clothing. You can see tufts of fabric and nice little fine details that you could never see on the previous Blu-ray transfer. There is a nice noticeable uptick in details that you'll notice from the opening scene all the way through to the end. Another noticeable improvement is that colors and skin tones look fantastic overall. A lot of the image on this, especially in those areas that on the previous Blu-ray was really orangey or brownish overall, where the whole scene was really bad, they fixed a lot of those. Now, am I going to say it's completely gone? No, because some of that is baked into the original film, but they did work with the colors to provide a much more natural and just more vibrant color experience that looks way better on their skin tones than when you sit down and compare them side by side. It's a dramatic improvement because of the great HDR10 implementation. It brings much needed life to the image. Lights to darks look really fantastic. You'll notice there's no black crush whatsoever, but like in that scene I was talking about with like the fairies coming, man, do they really come to life, and it just has that really bright vibrancy with the darks around them. Overall, that was lacking on the previous Blu-ray. They did a really great job with the HDR10 implementation. Now, touching on the audio, it does have a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio mix, and that audio mix is crystal clear and beautiful sounding, and it has great dynamic range. Overall, it's a very enjoyable audio mix, and in comparison to the previous Blu-ray releases audio mix, they did work with it on a couple of areas that I noticed. One, it was slightly louder. Two, it did have slightly better LFE and bass, and I will say overall it did have better range. Now, is it going to be one of those that you're going to say is a night and day difference audio mix? No, but it is something you will notice when you start watching it, that overall clarity as well was much better on this 4K release than it was on the previous Blu-ray. Now I want to touch on the case here. This is a limited edition SteelBook only release in the US. There is no standard 4K case coming later on whatsoever in the US. Limited edition SteelBook only, but I will tell you I was very much surprised by the gorgeous artwork. It does have a very shiny metallic look to it. Overall, it has very nice artwork on the front and the back, continuing with all of the characters, and it's got a lot of depth in that artwork that it's very nicely almost like a burgundy red with basically metallic finishes throughout that are really nice looking. And then when you get inside, it does have artwork on the inside of the case with Willow, as well as Willows on the disc. I did test both discs. They are 100% region free. Now, Disney was very specific on this collector's limited edition SteelBook release. Once this does sell out and goes out of print, they are not printing it again. It is a limited print, limited edition SteelBook release only. No standard slipcover will ever be coming. They were very specific about it here in the US. Now, I've always really enjoyed Willow as a fantasy action adventure film. I love Val Kilmer, and I think he's very funny and adds a unique element with Willow's character, and I like the adventure of them basically trying to save the baby and going on an across the country adventure and all the escapades and things that happen. One of my favorite scenes is actually the sleigh ride on the Shield. That scene, I don't know why, but I love it every time I watch it. It's just fun, you laugh, and there's so many just good times in this film that are hard to replicate nowadays. In the 80s, they had some of the best fantasy action adventures of all time. Another one that I highly recommend that I've previously reviewed is The Princess Bride. I absolutely love that fantasy action adventure as well. And I previously did a 4K versus 4K review comparing the two different 4K releases that are available of that film here on the channel. And I did that in my top 10 4K releases I originally didn't have the time to review video. Basically in that I did a top 10 countdown, going through and doing mini reviews, just like what I'm doing here with these quickfire reviews of all different releases that originally I didn't have time to review, but in one compilation video. If you haven't checked out that video yet, you're going to want to check out that one. There's a bunch of must-own, must-buy 4K releases in that video that you're going to want to know about. Now, as far as this, I did dive into and test out the rough average bitrate, and this has a 66 megabits per second. Now, getting to my review score for this upcoming Willow and this limited edition SteelBook only release, this gets a terrific 9.3. It's a recommended must-buy that you buy and add to your collection. If you are a fan of this film at all, this is the best image and sound quality that it's ever been released on home video. You'll be very much surprised by the image though. That's where the massive improvement comes in. The sound was more or less small little things. The image is where it's a very nice and healthy improvement over the previous Blu-ray release. Skin tones was so nicely improved, as well as depth in that image. You'll sit there and say to yourself, I really enjoy this and I'm really glad it's released on 4K and that you finally own it in the best quality that it's ever been released in. Now let me know in the comment section below if you're excited for this upcoming 4K release now that you've heard my review score. If you decide you're buying this now, make sure to go down and use that link down there below. Next up, we have the sci-fi action adventure Transformers 1. Now this film itself I really enjoyed. It is a blast. There are some really good comedic beats in it, but overall going into the sci-fi universe of the Transformers and taking it outside of the human element and more into the Autobots, I really like that universe. And I gotta tell you, on this 4K transfer that has Dolby Vision and HDR10, the 4K image is incredibly detailed and stunning looking overall. The colors are absolutely beautiful and vibrant from beginning to end. I was amazed at how even on the Autobots, like all the scratches on the steel and metal on their faces and on their armor and all of that, it is so detailed. You sit there from beginning to end just with your mouth open for the reference quality 4K image. Now the good news doesn't stop there. The Dolby Atmos has amazing dynamic range. It uses the height channels constantly throughout the entire film, giving your height channels a real workout. LFE and bass will kick your butt. It'll rattle your neighbor's windows. Overall, the Atmos mix is immersive and a reference quality audio mix. Now, this does come in two different flavors. It comes in a standard slipcover and this limited edition steelbook. Now, the limited edition steelbook's where it's at for me. It is really nice looking. I loved the artwork on the back. I actually like the artwork on the back of it even better than the front. But it has all the different characters with different like colors, basically harkening back to the 80s. Overall, the limited edition steelbook is high gloss, and I really do dig the artwork. Now, if you want to know all about my limited edition steelbook protectors that I've tested and reviewed, you'll want to check out my in-depth review video where I actually ordered over 10 different companies' limited edition steelbook protectors and compared them all. None of them were sent for review. I did that all on my own, and I shared in that video the best quality and the best bang for your buck, and that's what I put on all of my limited edition steelbooks. Because of how expensive limited edition steelbooks are, I want to protect the artwork for many years to come. It protects the discs from dust and everything else, and I really do love keeping them in these because it keeps all of that artwork so shiny and pristine. So you'll want to make sure to check out that video, and I'll tag it up above and at the end of this review. Now, bitrate wise, this does have a 69 megabits per second. Overall, if you like the Transformers universe, you're really going to enjoy this one because it ties everything together with basically a prequel story before they come to Earth, telling about how like Optimus Prime became Optimus Prime. And it's really one of those that I really love how expanded the Transformers universe. And I'm really hoping they create a sequel to this because I really loved the world building and just how beautiful and stunningly gorgeous the 4K image is. Now, getting to my review score, this gets a reference quality 9.8. This is a must-buy, must-own 4K release. You'll sit there with your mouth on the floor as you watch and listen to the reference image and sound quality. Both of them will knock your socks off. This is one of those. I was so thrilled with how this turned out on 4K, and the movie is a lot more fun than the theatrical trailer lets on. I really think the theatrical trailer is very poor for how really well done and enjoyable the film ended up being. I really hated the theatrical trailer after I saw how good the actual film was. Now, if you decide you're wanting to buy this limited edition steelbook or the standard slipcover, I put the links for both of them down below. Let me know in the comment section whether you're a big limited edition steelbook collector like me and you put them in limited edition steelbook protectors like this. Let me know if you collect limited edition slipcovers. Share your excitement for any of these 4K releases in the comment section below. Now, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to go down and give this video a like and a thumbs up for me. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification. Next up, we have the 1999 mystery thriller horror film Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon in it. Now, this is an Amazon exclusive only 4K release. That link I'm putting down there below is the only way to order this anywhere worldwide. So if you live outside the US or in the US, it is Amazon exclusive only. There is no standard slipcover case coming later on whatsoever. Now, this does come in a very nice outside 3D lenticular case. As you can see there, the woman's face coming up behind the shoulder of Kevin Bacon is really cool looking. I really like these new basically 3D lenticular cases that Lionsgate is doing. That goes over the limited edition steelbook underneath that I'll show you here in a minute. Now, for the film's 25th anniversary, they did a brand new native 4K transfer along with Dolby Vision and HDR10 Master. And I am happy to report the image retains its nice, natural, light film grain from beginning to end. It is not gone. Overall depth and detail is very predominant on this. You can see it with little hairs and things on his face, like when he has stubble on his face because he hasn't shaved in a while. You can see all that stubble evidently clear that you could never see on the previous Blu-ray whatsoever. Now, I will point out that the film intentionally is a darker looking film. They filmed it that way to present the more like darker subject matter of basically dealing with ghosts and death. And if you've seen a film like The Sixth Sense, I previously reviewed that here on this channel. I always felt like in a way they were very like tied together films in the sense of they deal with death and ghosts and do it in slightly different ways, but they have a very similar aesthetic of being a darker image intentionally. Now on this, with that great Dolby Vision and HDR10 implementation, it does have brilliant whites, inky blacks, And I will say there's no black crush, so you can see everything in that darker image, but it's not one of those that the image is just going to be so vibrant coming off of the screen that you feel like it's just really bright looking. That's not the way it's intentionally supposed to look. But overall, image quality wise, it does look amazing. I was very impressed with what Lionsgate has provided on this, and we get another nice treat. It comes with a brand new immersive Dolby Atmos audio mix. It uses the height channels consistently throughout the whole film in very unique ways. There's things where things will fall, or he'll be sucked back out of basically being in-depth dealing with basically the ghost universe. He'll suck back into reality. And it has some really cool whooshes overhead, and different sounds are used overhead. And it really does have a unique experience that I've never heard for this film that really immersed me and sucked me into this thriller mystery. Along with that, it has amazing dynamic range. And there is some LFE and bass that are used for jump scares that'll really just make you jump out of your seat. I mean, there was a couple of them I forgot about that really just, it shook me, and it had that really great build-up, and all of a sudden, boom, and I really enjoyed that. It really immersed me into it, gave me some good smiles across my face for getting scared, but not anything too over the top. Because this film is, again, one of those that, just like The Sixth Sense, I really enjoy because it's got a really good mystery, thriller, just kind of horror experience without being too over the top. Now, this is what your limited edition Steelbook looks like underneath. It continues Kevin Bacon's face with matte finish over here so it stands out if you can see that. It's a very unique artwork for a Steelbook. Now, rough average bitrate wise, this has a shockingly high 93 megabits per second, a wow experience for the rough average bitrate. This is one of those that they gave it every possible ounce of image it could to provide the depth and detail for this image, and you can notice it from beginning to end. Now, getting to my review score for this upcoming 4K release, this gets an excellent 9.6. Another recommended must-buy you buy and add to your collection. Now, keep in mind, this is an Amazon exclusive only release. There is no other retailers anywhere worldwide except through that direct Amazon sale link I put down there below that you can buy this from. It is Amazon exclusive only, and there is no other 4K release coming out later on. This is a limited print, limited edition release only. Lionsgate is known for this. They only release it for a limited amount of time, a limited print run. Once it sells out, it will be gone. So if you're interested in this one at all, here's your warning: do not wait. The image and sound quality were such a massive upgrade over the poor previous Blu-ray release. You will enjoy this film for many years to come, and that Dolby Atmos was such a nice surprise. Overall, I love this limited edition 3D lenticular release. Lionsgate has stepped up their game, especially with their packaging. I really can't think of anyone else that's done outside slipcovers with unique 3D artwork, plus really gorgeous limited edition steelbooks underneath. Bravo, Lionsgate. You provided another must-buy, must-own 4K release for all of us to enjoy in our collection for many years to come. Next up, we have 2004's Shaun of the Dead. Now, for its 20th anniversary, they worked with the original director Edgar Wright himself and went back and did a brand new 4K remaster and new 4K transfer with Dolby Vision and HDR10 on it. I will tell you, with the brand new color grading and master they did, it breathes brand new life into this that was previously missing and gone on this previous poor 4K release. Now, I previously reviewed this, and it's important to understand on the previous 4K release here, this got a review score of a 7.1. It is poor. It has banding, it has blocking, it has digital noise, it has issues with clumping. Overall, the 4K image lacks depth, it lacks detail, and it has a very grayish overtone to colors throughout the entire film that is not the way Edgar Wright intended it to look. Universal, when they originally released this, shoved out a quick release and did not consult or work with the original director at all. Now, in this new 4K remaster, Edgar Wright himself explains they went back and worked with the colors to provide healthy skin tones on those that are alive, unlike on this one where everybody, including those that are alive, looked grayed out. Everybody looks dead. Thankfully on this, it has nice natural colors. There are vibrant colors in this. On this new 4K transfer, depth and detail is dramatically improved. And overall, this new 4K transfer absolutely destroys this previous poor 4K transfer in every single area of the image. And I'm very happy to report there's no digital noise, banding, blocking whatsoever. You sit there and you actually think to yourself, man, it is such a nice improvement over this 7.1 bad 4K release that you think to yourself, I'm so thankful they went back and worked with Edgar Wright as he shares in basically the update about the 20th anniversary. There was so many things he wanted to correct on this, and they are noticeable improvements. Now, along with that, they provided another nice treat. We get a brand new immersive Dolby Atmos audio mix. It has outstanding dynamic range, and the height channels get used consistently throughout it. There's nice little sprinkles of the height channels constantly being used to immerse and suck you into the film. I will say, over the previous DTS-X audio mix that was on the previous releases, the Dolby Atmos had some very good LFE. I will tell you, numerous scenes like when they're slamming cabinets, or, you know, a lot of this film has really like a lot of just he slams things, the gate, the front door, slamming the car doors. All of that on the previous DTS-X audio mix was good, but nowhere near the level of what you're getting on this. There is tons of them, including some jumps that really do just pound and really give you a really great LFE and bass experience that you will feel things building up and then the bass, boom, and it is very strong. And I really will say it was a nice improvement and will really kick your butt over the previous DTS-X audio mix. Now, in the previous poor 2019 4K release, this had a rough average bitrate of 58 megabits per second. On this new 4K transfer, this has a shockingly high, healthy, and strong 99 megabits per second. That's almost double the rough average bitrate of the previous 4K transfer, giving a 41 megabits per second advantage on the rough average bitrate. Now, it is important to understand that Edgar Wright himself explained that there is only so much details that exist in the film based on how he originally created it. So that's where my review score comes into play. I did notice a drastic improvement in image and sound quality over this previous poor 4K release that got a 7.1 review score. But in comparison to other 4K releases, which is what I'm comparing all of these review scores to, I have a massive book of lists of all of the review scores I've done for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 4Ks over the last 8 years. And I compare them and go through image and sound quality so that way you know how these compare to everything I've tested and reviewed before. For this, it is a night and day improvement over that previous 4K release, but it is still limited by the original source materials. Review score wise, this gets a very good 8.9, and it is recommended you buy and add this to your collection if you enjoy this film. This is the best image and sound quality we will ever get this film released on home video. Edgar Wright himself said there is simply nothing else they can extract audio-wise or image quality because it's limited by how he created it, because he did use some lower quality elements when he was actually creating this film originally. But with that 8.9 review score, it annihilates this poor 7.1. You'll never watch the previous 4K release once you sit down and see just how horrid this previous 4K release is in comparison to this new 4K remaster. This is the ultimate way to own and watch this film. Now, it is available in 2 different flavors. This limited edition comic book style limited print run SteelBook. I love the artwork on this, how it's a comic book. On the side it says Shaun of the Dead, and then it has more comic book artwork on the back. Then there's also a 20th anniversary collector's limited slipcover edition set as well. I'll put the links for both of them down below, whether you collect limited edition slipcovers or whether you collect limited edition steelbooks. Both of those links are down there below. I really did like this, and I will tell you overall you will be very surprised at how much work they did for this release. It's a very enjoyable viewing experience, and that Dolby Atmos is very immersive and will suck you in, and some of those jump scares will kick your butt. Next up, we have 2002's World War II mystery thriller film, WILLOW. Now, this is one of those that I really do enjoy World War II films, and this takes place on a submarine. Basically, they rescue some folks that are basically stranded in the water, and it's basically the things that happen on that submarine trying to escape the Germans. It's a very slick action with thriller mystery elements. It's got some good jump scares in it, which are very enjoyable. I will tell you on the audio mix on this, which is a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 lossless mix, it sounds the best I've ever heard it. The previous Blu-ray does not compare audio mix wise. LFE and bass were dramatically better. That is where there's a lot of things like booms and explosions, where basically the submarine is being attacked, And I'll tell you, they sounded very good, and this has very good dynamic range on it. Now for this release, they did a brand new 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. It is a native 4K transfer, along with a Dolby Vision and HDR10 master, and they put it on a BD100 4K disc. Now bitrate wise, it has a stunningly high 101 megabits per second. And the reason it's important to understand that is the 4K image is stunning to behold from beginning to end. Depth and detail in that image is just wow. I can't believe how shockingly detailed it is. From the opening scenes when you see their faces and their hands, like when they're pulling levers and you're just watching the hairs on their hands with all the little dimples on their hands. Overall, the 4K image is just stunning to behold. I was really impressed. There's no issues with compression whatsoever, no banding, no blocking, no digital noise. Overall, it's one of the best 4K transfers I've seen Kino Lorber ever do. And the only real complaint I could have for this 4K release is that Kino Lorber would do immersive Dolby Atmos audio mixes. I've asked them before to do this, and I'm recommending it again to you, Kino Lorber, when you watch this. I really wish you would start diving into and doing Dolby Atmos audio mixes that would really bring your 4K releases to a new height. Because for this film, a Dolby Atmos mix would have been amazing, especially with like the bombs coming down in the water and dropping in and the explosions. That really would have added a really cool immersive element using the height channels. That's my only complaint, is honestly, it's a wonderful 4K release and the transfer on it is stunning. And your bitrate, what a great job you did giving it a high rough average bitrate as well. And I do hope in the future you will consider doing Dolby Atmos audio mixes, especially for films like this. It would have really made this one of those just top tier reference quality releases for audio as well if you would have done a Dolby Atmos. Now getting to my review score. For this upcoming 4K release, this gets a stellar 9.5. It's a recommended must buy that you buy and add to your collection. You'll be blown away by the image, and this is one of those you'll sit there. The image is an amazing experience. Audio is very good and the DTS HD was very enjoyable. It's just not one of those audio quality that's reference quality. It's the image that is. You're getting a massive improvement in this in image quality. Now it's extremely important if you decide you're buying or adding any of these to your collection, always make sure to go down and click and buy through those direct Amazon sale links I pinned as a comment in the comment section right below this video. Those links down there never cost you, the viewer, a penny extra when you click on them, but you see, the reason those are so darn important is the only way I can spend all this time testing, analyzing, and creating these massive in-depth reviews, it's always through you, my viewers and subscriber support, when you click and buy through those direct Amazon sale links down there below, and when you join my Collectors VIP Club. Collectors VIP Club is important as well. All of that goes back into this testing, analysis, and all this time and hard work I put into providing all this data and analysis for you. That's why I work so darn hard and put my heart and soul to provide the accurate image and sound quality in every single review I do here on my channel. And I just want to say thank you to every single one of you that have clicked and bought through those links down there and joined my Collectors VIP Club. It truly means the world to me to get to do this every single week with all of you. And let me know in the comment section below what of all of these massive reviews that you're excited for and what you've ordered through those links down there below. I love to see all of your excitement. The studios love to see it as well. And as always, I truly hope all of you have a blessed day. And I've always got something new, early, exclusive, and exciting coming out very soon.